What's up, YouTube? Hefe coming to you, Captain Awesome's Fish Room. A little bit later of a video. I was working on some stuff in the fish room today and just didn't get around to making a video, but thought I would make one. It's going to be a little bit different. I'm going to show y'all kind of a different type of hobby that I have. Some of y'all may already know it, but I think a lot of you don't. But I'm going to give y'all a little, sneak peek at, the other stuff that I like to do. And tell y'all a little bit about it and let y'all see it and enjoy it like I do. And of course, if y'all like it, I'll do more videos about it. But I just kind of wanted to show y'all a little of what else I like to do as I give my fish their little in feeding there. You can see the female wild-caught doveye is just looking spectacular, guys. Look at her. Well, Big Rig wants some attention. He's looking amazing too. I actually tried to measure him, I think it was yesterday or something, but he actually ripped through my net. I mean, completely broke the net that I was trying to catch him with, so I'm going to have to get a different net to catch him and measure him. He's a really, really strong fish, so but I have something else cool in store for y'all. So here, let me turn on some lights and I'll show y'all what I'm working on here. Today, the bulk of this video is going to be about the other type of hobby I have, or not type, but the other hobby I have, which is plants. Not just aquatic plants, guys, but I also like to keep terrestrial plants. I keep terrestrial carnivorous plants. I keep poisonous terrestrial plants, and I'm not talking about your poison ivy or poison oak or anything like that, guys. I'm talking about like angel's trumpets, some other ones, pitcher plants, cobra lilies, and of course there's Venus flytraps, but that's kind of a beginner plant. But yeah, I mean, I like keeping carnivorous plants. That's another hobby of mine. You can see I got some really cool pitcher plants over there. I'll give you all a video of those. Well, they're right there. I got them as little plantlets, so I'm growing them up right now, and eventually they'll be able to go outside. But I also keep a carnivorous aquatic plants. I only have one carnivorous aquatic plant right now. And the common name for these plants are bladderworts. Okay, there's about 233 species inside the bladderwort family. They have aquatic bladderworts, and then there's what's called terrestrial bladderworts, but they're not. They're more of like a swampy terrestrial. I mean, really, really wet soil. But the one we're going to be talking about today, guys, is called Uticularis Valgaris. Okay, that's the name right there. Uticularis Valgaris. Okay, that's the common name of the bladderwort that we're going to be talking about today. There's a little drawing I did of it. You can see kind of like the stems and then the leaves that come off, and then the little circles are, of course, the bladders. Now, this plant, guys, is a very, very sophisticated plant. And what I mean by that is the sophistication part isn't in keeping it. The sophistication is the plant itself. It's a very sophisticated and, just highly adapted plant. I mean, and here's a closer drawing of it. And, it's really cool in what it does. The little circles are just a crude drawing of the actual bladder on the plant. I have an example here. Let me see if I can get you a good shot of it. You can see the little clear, transparent green circles in there, and then you can see some darker ones in there as well. Those are the ones that actually have its food in it, or prey, or whatever you want to call it. But, the terrestrial form, there's the darker ones that have its food in there. You can see the little dark spots. The terrestrial ones actually have smaller bladders. The bladders in between terrestrial and aquatic bladderworts can range anywhere from 0.2 millimeters to 1.2 centimeters, 1.5 centimeters. And the terrestrial ones, the bladders are much smaller. I mean, they eat like protozoans, rotifers, and stuff like that. But the aquatic form, they're a lot bigger. They can eat stuff like Daphnia, mosquito larvae, tadpoles, fry, nematodes, all that kind of stuff. And you'll see why I say they're sophisticated here in just a second. I'm trying to get my example here. What we have here is like one of those ball pit balls. Now, whenever you're talking about a bladderwort, you speak in terms of a trap. Okay, that's kind of what it is. When the trap is set, when that little circle is ready to get something to eat in it, what it does, this little square cut out right here, this is actually the door or the mouth of the bladder. When the trap is set, that door is actually shut, and there's a bunch of little tiny hairs on the outside of the door here. When something triggers that or brushes up against those hairs, what happens is it immediately creates a vortex. I mean, this is under negative pressure right here, okay? The bladder is under negative pressure when the trap is set. Creates a vortex and just immediately pops open like you see here, and when it does that, it creates a vortex, like I said, and sucks in everything in front of that trap door or mouth on the bladder, okay? And when I say immediately, guys, this happens in 10 to 15 thousandths of a second, okay? From when something brushes up against those hairs and that bladder just sucks like that, it happens within 10 to 15 thousandths of 1 second. Alright, so that's pretty fast. I mean, there's a video I watched the other day, and I think they had to use, I think it was a 1,000 frames per second camera to even slow it down enough to see the bladder suck in its prey. So it's pretty quick, guys. And another kind of, well, I wouldn't say weird, but you know, another cool thing about it is that you know, these little things, these are just little plantlets, okay? If you want to call them that. I mean, they're still just little baby plants. You know, this is nowhere, you know, close to what they look like whenever they get in their full glory. Now, the other cool or weird thing about it is a lot of people want these plants because of the flowers they produce. You know, whenever they produce their flowers, the aquatic form actually produces flowers that look kind of like snapdragons. But, you know, they can produce flowers that kind of resemble orchid flowers and stuff like that. Very, very beautiful when they flower. You know, snapdragons and orchids are really, really pretty plants. Orchids are actually a carnivorous plant too. Well, some of them are, but that's another cool thing about them. I mean, I already went over, you know, what kind of stuff they can eat, how fast it happens, and, you know, stuff like that. Now, as far as what they look like inside the tank, I have an example right here. I didn't touch this piece. If you can, let me try to get it to focus. You can see it right there, right on that high growth plant right there. That's what it does. It kind of floats around the tank, you know, connects on something and kind of tangles up in it. You know, it's not ugly, you know, especially if you have a nicely planted tank. Now, it does grow very, very fast, and you know, it can get really bushy quick, so you may want to trim it a little bit. And you know, just kind of keep it under maintenance. But other than that, guys, I mean, it's a really cool plant to have. You know, you can kind of call it a filter feeder if you want. You know, it won't eat uneaten food or anything like that, unless of course it brushes up against the hairs and sucks it in. But the majority of the time, it's eating the microscopic organisms inside of your tank. If you have the planaria in your tank, or roundworms. There's a bunch of different types of roundworms. If you have any of that stuff in your tank, you know, a bladderwort would be a good idea. I mean, it would definitely eat a lot of those. It wouldn't take care of your problems like water changes would, but it'd definitely be beneficial to add it to a tank like that. You know, it can take care of you know, a bunch of microscopic organisms. It's a great plant. It's a cool plant. It's a fun plant to have and look at. So, you know, with that said, guys, I hope y'all enjoyed the video. If y'all want to see some more plants that I keep, you know, want me to go over them, show you how they eat and stuff like that, just let me know. It's definitely another hobby that I have, you know, quite a few cool plants, not just aquatic plants, but terrestrial. And yeah, so let me know what y'all think, guys. This is what I'm doing. This is what I've done. Hope y'all enjoyed the video, and we'll see y'all next time. Adios, folks. Hey guys, this is going to be a quick video at the end of today's video. Was going to measure Big Rig, but he is definitely not an easy fish to catch, so we're going to measure the Gorillas Blue male that I have, Kronos. See how big this boy is getting. Alright, big boy. Alright. Come here, guy. And guys, when you do this kind of stuff, you want to try not to touch them as much. You just want to kind of get them measured and get them back in the tank. Oh. They have sharp spikes, guys. Fins, anyways. Alright, big boy, come on. See how big this guy is. Alright, got right at 7 inches, just about. Right at almost 7 inches. Alright, we'll get this guy back in his tank. Really stressful for the fish. But as you can see, he's fine. But yeah, guys, so hope y'all stayed till the end of today's video to see that measurement. And thanks for watching. Peace out.